Good evening, everyone. It's time for Sleep Learning Radio. Join us on a journey that will lead you to a restful sleep. Tonight's theme is science. The color of the sky you saw today, the temperature of the wind you felt, the flavor of the coffee you tasted, all of them have invisible laws at work. It may be invisible, but it fills our daily lives and creates moments that feel magical. That law, that's science. Tonight, let's deepen our understanding and interest in science by digging into the essence of science hidden in such everyday life and communicating it in an easy-to-understand manner. Human curiosity is boundless, and that's what drives scientific exploration. Why do clouds float in the sky? Why is the earth round? Why does the sun rise in the east and set in the west every day? All of these are explained by scientific principles. By understanding science, we can better understand and enjoy the many phenomena we encounter every day. We enjoy observing, asking questions, and finding answers. This podcast awaits you as a place to stimulate that natural curiosity and deepen your exploration together. Your discoveries here will give you a new lens through which you can see the world, opening up a richer and more exciting perspective. And through that journey, we realize that everything is connected to science. Join us as we explore the exciting world of science. The first section is daily phenomena. Here, we use the power of science to elucidate phenomena that we see every day, but whose reasons are unknown. Today, we will find out why the sky is blue and why a cup of coffee wakes us up. First, think about why the sky is blue. In fact, this is related to a phenomenon called rail scattering, which interferes with light. The light that reaches the Earth from the sun is made up of a mixture of different colors, and as a result, we see it as white. When this light hits tiny particles in the sky, it bounces off in different directions. However, when light hits a particle in the sky and bounces off, the intensity of the bounce differs depending on the color of the light. Light with short wavelengths, such as blue and violet, bounces off much more strongly than other colors of light. However, the human eye sees blue light more vividly than violet light, and there is more blue light than violet light in sunlight, so the sky appears blue as a result. Next, think about why drinking coffee wakes you up. This is because of the caffeine in coffee. Caffeine stimulates the nerves in the brain that make you feel sleepy and works to prevent you from falling asleep. Caffeine binds to adenosine receptors in the brain, making us less drowsy. Normally, we feel drowsy when adenosine is attached to adenosine receptors, but caffeine blocks adenosine by sticking to adenosine receptors and suppresses drowsiness. When you look at it this way, you can see that everyday life is driven by the power of invisible science. We can learn about the laws of nature and how our bodies work by feeling a little question. In the next section, I'll show you how to make your daily life more efficient with the power of science. Let's study hard and use the power of science to transform every day into a fun and efficient day. The next section is Life Hack Science. Here, with the help of science, let's look for hints to make our daily lives more fun and smarter together. Today, we explore the science of getting a good night's sleep and techniques to boost your memory. Let's start with the science of getting a good night's sleep. Sleep is more than just lying down with your eyes closed. In fact, the hormone melatonin in the body plays a major role. Melatonin is secreted more at night and tells our body it's time to go to bed. So, by darkening the room and avoiding blue light from your smartphone or computer before going to bed, the secretion of melatonin is promoted and you can sleep soundly. In order to get a good night's sleep, the habits before going to bed are also important. It is said that when you take a hot bath, your body temperature rises and then falls, and it has the effect of inducing sleep. Also, deep breathing and meditation to relax will lead the brain to a relaxed state and lead to deep sleep. Next, let's look at some techniques to improve your memory. For this, a learning method called spaced repetition is effective. This is a method of reviewing what you have learned once at regular intervals over and over again to firmly fix your memory in your brain. Specifically, after learning for the first time, I review it immediately, then a few days later, then a week later, and then a month later, and gradually widen the review interval. Doing this will help you move the information into your long-term memory, which will greatly improve your memory. These life hack sciences will give you concrete ideas from science to make your everyday life richer. If you know how to scientifically change your daily life, please let me know. Let's continue to aim for a fun and smart life with the power of science. The next section is Kitchen Lab. In this section, we'll delve into the Maillard reaction during cooking. What is the Maillard reaction? When you hear this name, you may imagine a chemical reaction that seems complicated, but it is actually a phenomenon that occurs frequently in our daily lives. The savory browning of steak, the sweet aroma of freshly baked bread, the deep flavor of coffee. All of this is due to the Maillard reaction. The Maillard reaction is a phenomenon discovered in 1912 by French chemist Louis-Camille Maillard. Specifically, it refers to a reaction in which sugars and amino acids in food react with the application of heat, causing a series of chemical changes. These chemical changes give food its savory dark brown color and also produce many complex and appealing aromas and flavors. The Maillard reaction occurs in many cooking steps, such as grilling steaks, baking bread, and even roasting coffee beans. The Maillard reaction not only makes food palatable, but also affects the appearance and texture of food, enhancing the overall dining experience. A certain temperature, usually above 140–165 degrees Celsius, is required for the Maillard reaction to occur. This temperature range is often called the Maillard zone. Within this temperature range, sugars and amino acids react to create hundreds of new flavor components. However, the Maillard reaction must be properly controlled. A moderate Maillard reaction enhances the flavor of the food, but an excessive reaction produces a burnt flavor and may damage the food. For example, when grilling steak, moderate browning enhances the aroma and enhances the taste. However, overcooking can result in a strong charred flavor that can overwhelm the flavor of the meat. Armed with this knowledge, we are able to understand the power of science hidden in cooking and use it to enhance the flavors of our dishes and explore additional flavor depths. That's why the kitchen isn't just a place to cook, it's also a place to experiment and learn. Let's continue to explore the science of cooking together in Kitchen Lab and make everyday cooking more fun and delicious. The next section is Miracle of Nature. Here we talk about the amazing scientific phenomenon that we see in the natural world that surrounds us, the evolution of life. Evolution is the process by which the characteristics of a living species change over generations. Using the theory of natural selection, Darwin explained the evolution of living things in detail. This theory is based on the idea that organisms adapt and pass on their traits to the next generation in order to win the competition for survival and reproduction. Biological evolution is a slow process that occurs over millions of years and is difficult to observe in a lifetime. However, the fossil record and genetic studies allow us to understand the evolutionary history of organisms. For example, since the dinosaurs went extinct, mammals have ruled the earth. As a result, various species of mammals appeared, including humans. When our ancestors descended from trees, walked upright on two legs, and used their hands to make tools, the evolutionary process reached a major turning point. This has allowed our brains to develop significantly, allowing us to acquire language, complex thinking, and problem-solving abilities. These traits make us the greatest species on Earth. However, the power of evolution affects not only humans, but all living things. A striking example is the finches of the Galapagos Islands. These birds have different types of beaks depending on their environment, which allows them to efficiently consume certain foods. This is a great example of adaptation and natural selection. Evolution is the means by which an organism adapts to its habitat. This allows organisms to survive, thrive, and sometimes form new species. For billions of years, our planet has been the stage for the evolution of countless organisms. This amazing process explains the diversity and complexity of life and shows how we are related to life on Earth. These are just some of the insights that evolutionary science offers. It's an interesting science that arouses intellectual curiosity. This time, we will also explore another miracle of nature, the formation of rainbows. Rainbows are one of nature's most vivid and beautiful sights, inspiring us and often featured in poems and stories. But let's understand the science behind how those beautiful rainbows form. Rainbows are basically created by the relationship between rain and the sun. Raindrops act as tiny prisms that reflect, refract, and disperse light from the sun. This process is the main cause of rainbow formation. For a rainbow to form, sunlight must first penetrate the raindrops. The light is then reflected on the inner back surface of the raindrop and refracted again on the surface of the raindrop. At that time, the light is refracted at different angles for each color, so the white color of the light is dispersed, and the light coming out of the raindrops becomes the colors of the rainbow. The color of the light emitted by a single raindrop is determined by the angle of the sun and the position of the raindrop. This means that if you look at the sun at a certain angle, you will see only certain colors of light. This creates rainbow stripes. The colors of the rainbow we see are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet from the inside out. This is because the longer the wavelength of light, the greater the angle it reflects off the inner raindrop. You can also see double rainbows. This is caused by light reflecting twice inside the raindrop. In a double rainbow, the order of colors is reversed and the outer rainbow is less bright than the main rainbow. As you can see, rainbows are one of the wonderful phenomena in nature created by a combination of physics and the theory of light. The moment a rainbow colors the sky, it is not only beautiful but also a miraculous moment where science and nature interweave. Now for the Science Q&A Corner. Here we'll work together to find answers to your scientific questions. At the heart of the Science Q&A are the great questions you ask. From heaven to earth, from microbes to galaxies, the world of science is vast and unfolds in our lives. Any question, any size, is welcome. Ask anything from why is the sky blue to why did the dinosaurs go extinct? The first question is, why are clouds white? Ever since I was a kid, I've always wondered. Clouds that make it rain look black. Is there any relation to that? This is a great question. In fact, clouds are white because the tiny water droplets and ice crystals that make up them scatter sunlight in all directions. This makes the clouds appear white to us. However, when the clouds are thick, all the light is scattered, so it can appear black. The next question is, why does my nose run when I walk outside on a cold day? Is my body reacting to the cold? This is also an interesting question. Cold weather dries out the inside of your nose, so your body keeps more water in your nasal passages to prevent this. That's why it's easier to have a runny nose on cold days. And the last question is, the air in my room feels dry in winter. What is it? Is there any good way to deal with it? This is because winter air is cold and dry. Cold air has a lower ability to hold moisture than warm air, so the relative humidity in the air is lower on cold days. Additionally, heating dries out the air in the room. As a countermeasure against this, it is possible to use a humidifier and place plants that contain a lot of moisture in the room. Your questions were great. Feel free to send me any further questions. We look forward to learning about the wonders of this world together. Today's broadcast is coming to an end. Thank you all for exploring the magical world of science with us. You covered so many topics, from the whiteness of clouds, the reason for runny nose, winter dryness, the science behind delicious food, to the beautiful mystery of rainbows. We realized once again how deeply embedded science is in our daily lives. And it reaffirmed that science is a tool that makes our lives better, more enjoyable, and more understandable. I hope that today's episode will give you a new perspective on the phenomena you encounter in your daily life. And it would be our greatest pleasure if the knowledge we learned today would be useful in your daily life. We look forward to welcoming you on your next trip to sleep with us. See you next time on Sleep Learning Radio. Goodbye.